Hey, my name is Ethan Ye, and I'll be showing you how to make an animal cell cake. So, let's get started. The first thing you need to do is make labels for each and every organelle that's going to be in your cake. As it's an animal cell cake, it has organelles. And some kid's gonna be asking, oh, what organelle is that? And you need to be able to answer their question with these. Want to know how to make one? Like, with these labels? Yeah. So, the first thing you need is some toothpicks. Get a lot of toothpicks because you're going to have a lot of labels. Then, you need labels, like paper ones. They can either be typed or written or just as long as it's legible language. Then, you need some tape. Just a good Scotch tape roll like this will do. Make sure it's clear, just standard clear tape. And we're ready to get started. So first, you stick the toothpick in the middle of the tape as such. Then, you just like put a label right here, right here, like on the side of the toothpick on the label. Then bind it all up, and you got one. Now just make the rest of them, and then I'll be ready to show you the ingredients. You done? Good. Okay, so if you have made the necessary labels to label all the organelles, then you are ready to make the cell cake that I am about to cook up. Or more like bake, but whatever. So, here is what you are going to need. You need potato sticks, or just fries, like small fries. But I prefer potato sticks because there's circular cheese. I prefer provolone, but that's just you can use any cheese. Just this is what I use. One grape. Well, I mean, I'm showing multiple grapes because that's how they come, but just one. Sour worms. You know, just use the blue ones because that is the only ones we're gonna need. You can eat the rest of them. Some sprinkles. I used the brown ones, but you can also use black ones if you want. But just make sure they're either brown or black, or very, very dark blue. Skittles or M&Ms, but I am using Skittles because I like Skittles. Well, I mean, also M&Ms, but I'm using Skittles for this video. Potato chips, such as these. Lay's would be good. And these other purple chips, Tostitos. Just make sure you have them, because they will be important later on. And since we are actually making cake, of course we need cake ingredients. So, here's what you will need. You will need this cake pan. Well, it doesn't have to be completely circular. It can be slightly roundish, like the other ones, but make sure it's just circular. Or round. Next, you need icing, because it will be important for some of the organelles later on, and come on, like, what good cake doesn't have icing? So, you will also be needing cake mix. Well, I mean, yeah, you need cake mix. Just use cake mix. 1 cup of water. Pretty sure you have that at home. Coconut oil. Well, I guess it can also be canola oil, but I use coconut oil because, I guess it'll taste better. I will see you later. And eggs. You need eggs. Now let's get on to actually baking that cake. Shall we? We're going to be baking the cake that is going to be our animal cell. So first, we get our cake mix, cut it open, and just pour everything in. Looks kind of good. Then we pour in 1 cup of water, a third of a cup of coconut oil, then we break open 3 eggs. And stir it a bit to make sure everything's in order. Then seal this up tight and set it to low or medium for 2 minutes. Alright, I got all the cake mix in. Actually, it smells kind of nice. And I already have the oven preheated. So, all I need to do is put this cake mix in the oven, and it will be ready in half an hour. Let's see how this cake turned out. Oh, it actually turned out pretty nice. So, how about we start icing the cake? So what you do is simply open the icing and start using a spreading utensil. Start spreading it around the cake. Now, what does the icing represent? Well, it represents the cytoplasm. The cytoplasm is a gel-like fluid between every single organelle in the cell. Now, you see that border or edge of the cake or cell? Yeah, that is called the cell membrane. The cell membrane is a border between the cell and the rest of the outside world. And it controls what comes in and out of the cell, allowing good things to come in and repelling bad things. It's like a border patrol, but in a cell. We're done frosting this cake. It turned out quite nice, actually. As you see here, I have all the ingredients for the rest of the organelles set up here. Nice, neat plates. So, let's start off by putting the nucleus and nucleolus on the cell. So, the nucleus is simply this round cheese, and you just stick it in the center. The nucleus is the control center of the cell, and it contains DNA. It's pretty much the brain of the cell. The nucleolus is the single grape, which has been sliced into half. And simply you put it in the middle here, and you have a nice nucleus and nucleolus. The nucleolus is a smaller nucleus inside the main nucleus that creates ribosomes. We are going to put the Golgi body on the cell. Now, for the Golgi body, you use your potato chips and your Tostitos to create the Golgi body. What you do is place a potato chip, like you place a few potato chips here, and stick it in. Then, for the rest of it, you place the Tostitos. And that is the Golgi body. The Golgi body receives and packages proteins and materials from the ER, and then distributes them. Now we are going to make the smooth ER. You see, what you need to do is take any gummy worms that you have, or sour worms, that are not blue, since those are being reserved for the mitochondria, and place them in clusters, or one cluster, like right next to the nucleus. Not like I'm doing in the video right now. We are going to create the centrioles using the potato sticks. Now, what you do with the centrioles is that you simply place around 3 or 4 of them right next to each other, and then place another few over, like, at the bottom, making the sort of L. Centrioles are protein structures in animal cells that help chromosomes move during cell division. We are going to make the endoplasmic reticulum. With the endoplasmic reticulum, you simply put frosting all around the nucleus, but not quite surrounding it. Like in a crescent moon shape. Rough and smooth endoplasmic reticulum have passageways that transport proteins and materials from one part of the cell to another. Now we are going to do the mitochondria. With the mitochondria, you take these sour worms, and remember how I told you to only use the blue ones? Well, you are simply going to cut the blue part off, if it's like mine, and simply use the blue ones you have and spread them around. Mitochondria produce energy for the cell so the cell can carry out its functions. We are going to put on the lysosomes, the green Skittles, the peroxiomes, the red Skittles, and the vacuoles, the yellow Skittles. Now, what you do with these is quite simple. Simply just place red, green, and yellow Skittles all around your cake. Quite simple, really. You should put around 3 to 4 Skittles for every lysosome and peroxiome and vacuole. Lysosomes use chemicals to break down food and worn out cell parts. Peroxiomes destroy harmful chemicals and produce energy. Vacuoles store food, water, waste, and other materials. We are going to do the ribosomes. So what you do is take out your sprinkles and sprinkle them on the endoplasmic reticulum or yellow frosting. Make sure to just kind of dot them with those. Okay. The ribosomes assemble amino acids to create proteins. Last but not least, the nuclear membrane. What you do is take purple Skittles and surround the nucleus with them. To kind of make a membrane around the nucleus. The nuclear membrane is pretty much just like the cell membrane, except it surrounds the nucleus. But not least, before you can finish your cell cake, you simply need to label every single organelle you have. There you have it. You learned about the components of an animal cell, and you made yourself a tasty treat. So, I'm Ethan Ye, and thanks for watching.